Hello, it's People in Square, and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
So today we're going to be reacting to a clip I found on Twitter about this young lady talking about broken families, broken homes, the black family, black culture, and why it's all bad. But before we get into it, let's just check out this clip and then we'll talk about it.
A lot of people are not going to like this conversation, but I think it needs to be had in the black community, which is the normalization of baby mama culture and having children outside of wedlock. In fact, just this general inability to have stable relationships. Our relationship dynamics in the black community are atrocious. The normalization of cheating, the normalization of unhealed individuals coming together, traumatizing each other, and perpetuating toxic cycles. And then it's this generational pattern of us not having marriages and us just bringing whole human beings into the world, and the parents aren't married. I just don't think this is something that we should be normalizing. I think it reflects the fact that a lot of us are not doing the inner work. We're not healing, especially when we have this history and this past in a lot of our families where brokenness in homes is so normalized, where the marriages are so toxic, and a lot of the things that happen in black homes are swept under the carpet. We don't have healthy communication skills. Things like your father's cheating on your mother and we just keep quiet about it, right? Why are we perpetuating these things? Because we know better.
So what are your thoughts on all of that?
So, very loaded. I'll be honest with you, it's like a lot. And my mind is like jumping up and down because I also realized how each of these things also kind of lead to each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's a chain.
So she said a lot of interesting things, but I want to start off with her question. Like, why do we keep perpetuating this thing knowing it's bad?
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, let's think about this thing like properly, because each generation goes by, we see things are getting worse and worse.
Yes.
The dating pool is getting worse.
It's getting worse.
It's difficult now in this day and age now to find a person who you can have a relationship with for the long term. Everything is short term. Yeah. Right. But and the young people know this. We know this. The previous generation knows this as well. Like we all know this. But as time goes on, these things keep getting worse and they keep perpetuating.
The painful part is because there's not much examples. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really do something that you've never seen before. So it makes it like harder, like, for them to now model it as they're growing. If somebody saw their father cheating, it is almost definite that that person's gonna end up, modeling the same thing within there, or they're gonna decide, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna even attempt marriage because I hated what it did to my mom, or they know because they've learned so much from that's probably something that they're gonna do, and they don't want to put somebody else through that.
Before, when black culture was strong, we understood that as a young man, you have to go out into the world, do what you gotta do, come back, take a wife, get married, build a home. That was the basis of our culture.
Yes.
Now that all of that is gone, and we're adopting more of like Western culture, where it's like you can just do whatever.
But without the Western formulas, particularly because they have their own foundations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's mostly built on like Christianity.
Religion.
So that's one of the biggest things in black culture that I hate. Like, you can just have kids before, like, again, because we abandoned our culture. Before, when you impregnated somebody, right? You had to marry that person. Yes. Like, you had to go there. Then you'll negotiate, and then you'll be like, okay, this kid is not going to be born out of wedlock. So because we're losing our culture, we're seeing a lot of negative effects of that, and I don't even know how we're going to bring that back, because the younger people are not interested in culture the way the older people are. Like, culture, like, especially black culture is not interesting to the youth the way it was before. Like people don't even know how to say their clan names now. They don't even know. Okay. They don't even know like cultural practices. Or they need help with all of that stuff. Instead of they're not eager to learn all of the things.
But then there's also the conflict also of like religion and that. So it's like we don't have this oneness when it comes to.
So we have this issue where we're becoming like uncultured people.
Yeah.
And because of that,
when you're uncultured, then it leaves space for external things to start influencing.
And that's what's happening. Social media is heavily influencing.
Social media is now becoming that influence.
Influencing like Black culture. And social media is perpetuating a lot of negative stereotypes.
Degeneracy.
So just being able to sleep around, have babies. It's okay to have.
It's okay to have
four baby dads.
And like all
those kind of things. It's okay. And more power to you as a Black female.
Yeah.
Have multiple baby daddies, but you still aspire to get married to a rich man, and hopefully that man will take you as you are. You know, all those kind of things. All that delusion that's instilled in Black people now.
Not a lot of. I didn't want to say this because it's gonna sound. It's like it's lame. Like honestly, the reality of it is lame. But like for years, there's this thing of like Black people had to sort of try so hard to get themselves to be integrated with white people and stuff here, particularly in South Africa. And now a lot of that has led to like losing a lot of self because you're spending so much time, in these spaces where you have to prove yourself within that space. It's not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Like from schools being, intermingling. Now firstly you have to, like you're learning within that language, you're surrounded by that, you have those friends, and then you move on to varsity, same thing, then in workspaces. And it's like, you don't literally have time for, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're lucky if you have that grounding of like maybe you have family from the Makayas or whatever but even those who do, you still see that you see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sort of you're putting it on for when you go there. So it's like, unfortunately, because that is not truly our culture and our ways, you know what I'm saying? You don't know the whole formula there. Hence, like, the Orania people fighting to keep with that so that they don't feel like they're trying to avoid that we've been doing, by keeping their cultures alive, by keeping their culture alive. So then, they feel stronger within themselves and their values, keeping, what they believe in and all of that. Whereas for us, it's difficult. And I also don't blame our parents and stuff because they had no choice. They had to put us in the schools and whatever.
In terms of like Black culture now, it's going to be very difficult to turn that around, especially because there's no proper role models out there to turn that around. Like, the people that they keep pushing in our faces are the bad people, the prostitutes,
exactly,
the gangsters,
the people that it's okay to have,
the entrepreneurs, the corrupt politicians, the rappers, the drug dealers, all those things. They keep pushing.
That's what we're seeing.
The DJs, especially here in South Africa, the DJs are very popular. So they keep pushing that, and then people aspire to be that. Because that's cool. But having
nobody's trying to be a husband. Nobody's aspiring to be a husband or
having
a wife.
Family and being a husband or wife, that's not aspired to. In Black culture.
And like we're even killing the culture of working. Like people don't. Like I know there's a huge unemployment problem, but a lot of it now has actually been. A lot of it is people who think like, no, I don't want to work for someone. I want to be my own boss. Like these delusions that social media like kind of perpetuates and creates. And it's like we're becoming more and more of that delusional society. Like all of these things, even from the baby mama, baby fathers, people are not being shamed enough about
that's a society that doesn't have culture.
That doesn't have culture.
a cultured society would not allow such things to happen.
Yes.
If you look in the Middle East, Arabs would not allow that shit to happen in mass.
And that's the thing. That's the conflict when it comes to this freedom, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I will say it's very dangerous for us. Oh, it is literally killing our race. We basically stand for nothing at this point. If you actually think about it, we stand for nothing. We represent nothing, you know? That's why it's so easy for people to like poke at us, because really.
And we just do whatever we like to do now.
We're vibes. We're about vibes. We just go with vibes now, and everything is okay. Everything is, you know, like you can literally end your relationship with your baby mama for small things.
Stuff that you can easily work out.
That you can easily. Your thing is not let's come with a solution. Your thing is like, no, you're stopping me from being. You can't completely be yourself 100% the way you were before you had a child, right? That's almost impossible. But now you have to find ways where you don't make it a miserable experience for yourself, you know? Now that's the thing. People want to go on as they were. If I was partying every weekend, you still want to go on. That's why people even hate things like having children, having families, because they don't want to let go of like all of this. It's always around selfish reasons.
I don't know what we can do to turn this around, but my only bet, my best thing is that...
Oh, like it's difficult. We are kind of far gone.
My best thing is that just try and be the solution you want to see in society.
You see, goes down to person, right?
Well, yeah. Just try that. That's a start.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't like
but that's a
single parent.
That's subjective. Right? Another person in a destructive way feels like that's what I want to see in society.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're so far gone.
But I'm saying that most people know this is bad. They know that. It's just that, again, like she says, we keep perpetuating it, and there's no like collective solution to turn this around. There's no collective solution. So it's again, start with self. That's one of the best ways to turn anything around. Start with self. If you want to see single parentness in the community, don't perpetuate it.
Don't do it.
Don't be having unprotected sex everywhere and stuff like that, and making babies.
Yeah.
You know you're not gonna marry that person, or you know you're not gonna be around for that person when the baby's there. Just don't do that. And so it's gonna have to be a ground-up approach where you literally build communities little by little until they grow.
Little by little.
Something where even the rest of society will be like, yeah, we wanna live like that. We wanna live like that. So we're gonna have to build models and examples.
But these communities, we have to find a way to build them online. Because these physical communities are not happening anymore. People aren't even talking like that in communities anymore. So, neighbors don't even go knocking, hi neighbor, how are you? That barely happens. Whatever.
People are not built for long-term relationships right now. And again, it all goes down to culture and upbringing. Because back then, from a young age, you would train boys how to be honorable men. You train young girls how to be honorable women. From a young age.
Yeah.
A young girl knows I need to wake up in the morning, clean the house, make sure everything is clean.
My family.
Yeah, I need to do the washing, I need to wash all the dishes. They know, so by the time you're a teenager, you're not even thinking about those things.
Yeah.
That stuff
you got the template.
Yeah, it's in
now you're gonna move into your home and you know
and you just know what to do. You're not gonna be like, oh, I can't cook. Back then you can't say shit like that. Shit like that is like, it's unthinkable for like back in the day, like you get married, you go into somebody's home and you say you can't cook. Oh, you're not gonna cook. That's unthinkable. You see, those are stuff where we lost it.
And now the poor child is grown up, she's a woman now, she goes on to dating shows, she says that, and then people pop the balloon. So it's a turn off, it's a red flag, you know? So
but it comes down to losing cultural identity. We need to try and find that again. We need to build strong families again. Because again, I've been saying this for the past 2 years on this channel, if you've noticed. There's no way as a society we're going to succeed without a strong family structure, a strong family foundation. We're always going to be bottom barrel compared to other races.
Absolutely.
If we can't even just get the right.
family structure right, guys, families are a good thing.
Black people are always going to be bottom barrel.
Are a good thing. You need to aspire to be a good wife, aspire to be a good husband.
So yeah, it is what it is. It's sad, but you guys let us know in the comments what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.